Hey guys, welcome to a new season of my YouTube channel. I was focused on short form for the last quarter, really the last 2 quarters, and I really wanted to improve my short form game, and I feel like I've gotten to a really good place, and now I'm ready to get back into a new season of long form content here on YouTube, and I'm calling this season my winning season. And the reason I'm calling it the winning season series is because over the last 2 quarters where I wasn't really on here, I had a lot of wins, and I decided that I always get to win. And these are some of the principles and the realizations that I've had over the last 2 quarters that really have gotten me into what I believe to be and feels like my winning season. So the first episode today is going to be how you will always fall to your floor. So who are you on your worst day? So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, also, I'm Diamond Davis, a content creator, writer, and strategist here in Detroit. And yeah, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, y'all, I missed y'all so much. So I was at a YouTube event a few weeks ago and got this amazing candle. And whenever I'm editing my YouTube videos now or I'm filming, I'm gonna try to light this candle. So let's light it right now to really set the mood. Today we are gonna be talking about you will always fall to your floor. So one of my favorite creators here on YouTube, her name is Mina Irfan. She had posted a video recently. Oh, this is a couple months ago now. And she was talking about how your standards really set the bar in life. And similar to gravity, we will always fall to our floor. So what is your bare minimum for how you show up in your life daily, weekly, over the months? Like, what does that look like? Because if your bare minimum, let's say for moving your body, is 2 days a week, if you've done that, you're like, all right, cool, great. Think about, is that really aligned with the version of you that you claim you want to be, as fit as you want to be, as healthy as you want to be? Or how many days that version of you eats clean a week? Is it only 2 days? Is it only 1 day? Is that really acceptable? And so we always fall to our bare minimum, always. And it really got me thinking, because at that time I was working out maybe 2 to 3 days a week, and I was like, ooh, technically that was an improvement from before, because before that, like last year, I was working out sometimes maybe 1 to 2 days a week. I only had like my Planet Fitness membership, and so I felt like I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. And then I'm like, okay, we got to up it. So I upped it to 3 days. So then my bare minimum rose a bit, right? And of course, you fall to your floor, because on your bad days, when you don't feel like it, what are you pushing through and actually doing? And so after I saw that video from her, I was like, we got to go harder. We got to up it, because thinking about the grander version of me, that's what I call it now, not just like the higher version of me, or better version of me, but that grander version of me that has the body that I want. How many days a week is she moving her body at a minimum on her worst weeks? And it's probably 4 to 5. So I've upped it to 4 or 5. Then there's also this other quote that I heard earlier this year from Layla Hermosi. Love Layla Hermosi as well. And she says, fuck your mood, follow the plan. And I realized that and I think some of us, especially the intuitives, people that are more spiritual, tapped in, we follow our intuition, and sometimes we confuse our intuition with just our mood. And so I'm like, oh, well, if I'm not feeling it, then I shouldn't do it. No, fuck your mood, follow the plan. How I feel emotionally about something is like, because I don't feel like it, that's not really a valid reason not to show up and do it. Because those emotions are fleeting. The mood is fleeting. If I said that I'm showing up 5 days a week to do something, if I say I'm showing up 4 days a week to do whatever it is, like, I have to follow through on that, because I already have set out this plan, and I set out this plan for a reason. And what I've learned is, like, having those containers are so important, because when you have those containers and all you have to do is show up, like, okay, you're working out 4 days a week, that gives yourself a container. Like, I know I need to show up 4 times. Like, it doesn't matter the mood. We follow the plan. And when you follow the plan, you actually see the results. I was also thinking about how, like, when we brush our teeth, right? Maybe some mornings you don't feel like brushing your teeth. Maybe you're just a little tired, but guess what? You're still gonna brush them, aren't you? And you have to get that way with everything that you want to have in your life. Every area that you want to be a bigger version of yourself, a grander version of yourself. And I had caught myself slipping it was like this one morning, I was so tired and I was like, I went to a late class the night before. I was like, I just don't really feel like going to Orange Theory because that's where I go now. And then I was like talking myself out of it. And that's the thing, I feel like we get really good at talking ourselves out of doing what we say we're going to do sometimes. And I was like, I just don't, I'm a little sore and I do need a little more sleep. And then I slipped up. And I was like, I just don't feel like it. And that's when I snapped awake. I said, got your ass. This isn't about any of the bullshit excuses in your mood of not feeling like going. This is because you just don't feel like it. And I had gotten really good at finessing myself when I didn't feel like doing something. So immediately when I said I just don't feel like it, I got up and went. And so that's another thing that I've paid more attention to, is when I'm saying I don't feel like it, because that's not a good enough reason anymore, is I don't feel like it. This is another thing I'm going to be talking about more in a later video in the series. But what I've learned is it's not about trying to force being something or force yourself with just actions of doing things because, that's what I gotta do. That's what I have to do. You have to figure out where the devotion is in these things, because the version of you that fully embodies whatever that grander version of you is not a fight. It's not a struggle. It just is. It's just what they would rather be doing. It's just where they would rather be. And a lot of us are so addicted and feel like we get so much release and relaxation and ease out of scrolling our phone or bed rotting, when really it's just because we're trained to think that. But ultimately, a lot of us actually know that it's not really serving us in the way that it seems. But we all know people that now, they've started eating healthier. They've started moving their body more. They've started writing every day. They started, making time for their creativity. And that feels good to them. That feels like a release. That feels like joy. That feels like happiness. And it's not because they're crazy. It's not because they're faking it. It's because they've truly became that version of themselves that enjoys that, and it feeds into who they say they want to be. And I call all of us to think about that grander version of you, whatever you're working towards, whoever you are deciding that you want to be. Think about, who are they on their worst day, their worst week, their worst month. And if that's hard for you to visualize, think about some of your heroes, some of the people that you look up to that inspire you. Who are they on their worst day or their worst week? What are they still devoting themselves to? And so, yeah, that's really it. Raise your standards, raise your bare minimum expectations of yourself, and you will see so much improvement. I know I really have. And so I'm really glad that I had that moment to just think about that, of like, everybody's always trying to push to where they want to go, or like think about the best. People are always wanting to think about that grander version of themselves, like how far ahead, right? But think about that bare minimum as well, because you always will fall to that bottom. It's nice to say you're going to work out 7 days a week, but what is that bare minimum that you're going to show up and move your body? Like, start there. Because when you fall short of 7, it's like, oh man, but what is really your bare minimum? Think about it from the back end. That's a great way to kind of shift your perspective. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down below about how you're raising your floor. See you guys next time. Bye.